If I could get everyone to grab their seats, we'll get started. Ms. Whitby tells me it's 6 o'clock on her watch, so we're going to get started. Call this meeting to order. Ms. Whitby, you want to call the roll?
Yes, sir. Ross?
Here.
White? Here. Taylor?
Here.
Robinson?
Here.
Baxter?
Here.
Harris?
Here.
Gann?
Here.
And Height?
Here.
The quorum is
Present.
present, sir, including Councilman.
Thank you very much. I invite you to rise for prayer and pledge to be led by Ms. White.
Amazing and awesome God, I thank you for this city and your many blessings on it, for the blessings that we see and for the blessings that we don't see. Please forgive me when I'm ungrateful and impatient. Your timing and plan are perfect for us, and I want your direction and wisdom. Thank you for our protection for the police and fire departments as they serve and for keeping our city workers safe in all they do. Thank you for the citizens of North Little Rock who live, work, play, and raise their families here. Remind us all to be patient and kind to each other. Thank you for our mayor and the council, and let us make decisions that please you. Please bless our families as they too share in the responsibilities of our offices. Now I ask for your continued blessing on our city and our state and our country. We need you for all we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 So moved.
Second.
On the motion.
On the motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's go into communications. Anybody want to pull any of those? I don't want to pull number 2, but we got it out a little late today. I've read it over the weekend and thought it was good to go into the Kent communications, and Todd wrote a letter covering it, and then Rex Nelson's article was worth reading. So if you didn't get a chance to read it today, I encourage you to read it the next day or two. How about a motion for accept communications 1 and 2?
Move to accept and file communications 1 and 2.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We're going to have a little presentation right now. It's not on our agenda, I don't think, but a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago, Ms. White asked me that it was so hard to see through the screening fence down at our construction site that she would love to see it better, and I agree 100%. So, Robert, if you want to come up, and Robert and Nathan and Mr. Billings put together a quick little PowerPoint with us. The people at home, I apologize, but you're not going to be able to see this due to our antiquated system. And I did hear today, I believe Chief Bradley told me that we're going to open up our bids on our new system tomorrow. So hopefully in the next 45 days or so, we can get all this updated where the people at home can see things like this. But right now they can't see it, but the audience can and the council members can. So Robert and I together we'll bounce through these real quick. There's about 18 slides, I think. Of course, this is the original drawing that we had when we started, a year or two ago. And I think everybody understands exactly where we were headed. So let's kind of see where we are. If we go on to the next one, we talked about the economic impact that this has and has had on that particular part of our downtown, and those numbers are approximately $40 million right now. The Power and Ice building is the only one we haven't got started yet. First Orion is on the 2nd and 3rd level now. The 600 Main building, they're clearing the ground on it. Thrive is 95% complete. So everything's going according to plan. Another view of what it's going to look like when we're finished. Same thing we've seen before is how everything sits. We've got our plaza's a little over an acre. Okay. All right, here's some construction from up high looking back. That's our front porch. That's where the swings and all that good kind of stuff's going to be. You can see the screen and the wall on the right. That's where we'll show the audiovisual budget will be spent on that. You can see in the background is the second level of the First Orion building, and I believe they're going up 6. I can't remember now if it's 5 or 6.
5.
It's 5 with a rooftop event, so
5.5.
yeah, 5.5. So they're on the second floor. Now, what they do there, which I didn't realize, but they're only allowed to go 2 levels at a time before they have to pour floors. So they have to stop right there, and then they will pour the floor on the second floor, and once they get that done, then they will go up 2 more levels, and then they'll have to pour the floors up there before they can go to the 5th level. So if you think they're not doing anything, they are. They're just getting ready to pour concrete, so.
And I'm going to go back 2 slides or 3 slides. That is that same view. The one that of the construction is the same view as that picture.
Exactly.
It's basically off the top of Muggs.
Right, okay, good. Okay, another site, that is the water wall. Remember, we, probably, I don't know if there's one anywhere close to North Little Rock, Arkansas, but that's the base and foundation for the water wall right there. And then the Oxbow foundations, you can see off to the right where those Oxbow fountains will be. Bathroom, storeroom for the plaza is right there.
It's also where the storage closet, where the audiovisual and controls and all will be.
Okay, thank you. There's First Orion, and they now have the frame on the top of that second level, and that's where they're going to start pouring. Here's our Oxbow fountains. Now remember, they'll all be flush, so they're sitting up now, but that will be filled in with stuff and tile and whatever else we're going to put there. Comes out to Main Street. That's from the top of the Heritage Building. That's a good shot. All right, I think that's about it. Robert's been our liaison with the contractors on this. If anybody's got any questions, Robert might be able to answer them for you. Yes, ma'am.
No, I just think, since we can't see these at home, if we could throw these on the city website somewhere so that, post this on there so that people can see.
Absolutely. We're working on the Power and Ice building. We've got 2 of the 3 floors committed, and we're struggling with the first floor. And as I think I might have mentioned before, that I really like the Legacy development down in Plano, and there's 4 or 5 of us that are going to go down there and meet with the Plano mayor, and in next week actually, and so to try to get some idea of how they put that project together, and spend a day down there with him. So, any other questions?
Well, I was going to tag along on yours. That building that you're referred to, you're still looking for a restaurant, though. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah.
We could build it right now without a restaurant, but it's my desire, and I think all of us that went down and saw the Sundance Square down in Fort Worth, is that you got to have a restaurant.
You got to have a restaurant.
It's got to be a restaurant, outdoor seating, and all that stuff so I'm ready. I'm willing to be patient. I'm even looking at what we can do with that particular lot in the meantime until we get a commitment from a good restaurant. So it's just it's icing on the cake for the plaza.
And my second comment or statement is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but next Tuesday, the 19th, we're going to have the groundbreaking for the 3-story office building that's going to house the Visitor and Convention Bureau, along with, Taggart and Automobile Dealers. So next Tuesday, I believe it's that.
Yeah, I think all of y'all have been invited. Ms. White?
Just one question. If and when a food truck wants to be in this area, where will those be allowed?
Food trucks? I don't know that we're going to allow food trucks on the plaza. They might be able to be off the plaza and have tents and things like that. But, a lot of those trucks are old and leak oil and all that stuff, and I don't want them leaking oil all over our brand-new plaza, so.
You know, in DC where the mall is, the food trucks are on the street around the mall. Just a thought. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I understand that there's a place for food trucks, but I really hate to compete against our brick and mortar people too much, but it's coming, and the millennials love it, and, we're building a lot of this stuff for the younger generation, so we'll probably have food trucks whether I want them or not, so. But we'll make opportunities for everybody. We want this to be a fun place and for everybody to want to come, and if it's, food trucks, and we'll try to figure out how to make it work.
Mayor, quick question. Is there any chance that maybe there will be enough completion in the project down there where maybe we can show like Razorback games this fall on the big screen?
Maybe. It really kind of depends. We want the cranes to be gone, and we want the First Orion building to be in the dry, and all their outside work, have the skin on the building before we start really finishing, because, a third of, our backyard, if you will, is going to be their front yard.
Right.
So we don't want to, we can't complete their front yard and our backyard, which are synonymous, until it's time. So we could probably have the plaza done by late summer, if not even sooner.
We are actually going to have the ability to work on the backyard between August 1st and August 15th, depending on how quickly they get finished. The front half of the plaza will be done not in the too far future, and probably by the end of May. I mean, they're going to start working the pavers.
It's a question, then, yeah.
Yeah, the plaza's on schedule, it's on budget, it is, no major problems have come up. A few things with fixtures here or something there, but nothing major. It has been, knock on wood, really smooth sailing so far.
With the rain we've had, that's incredible. I mean, they've done a great job.
They have,
I can
yeah.
tell you that right now.
Especially when you got so much underground work, so I'm really pleased with our contractor, no doubt. Okay, anybody else? Okay, Robert, thank you so much, and if this is not already on the website, go ahead and put it on, okay?
Will.
Okay. And those of you that want to look at it, feel free to go to the website probably tomorrow. Okay, public comments, sign-in sheet. I see everybody is signed up to say something about R 1905. I'm not calling it legislation tonight, but you're welcome to talk. First is Robert Fury. Three minutes, please.
Hello again. Robert Fury, 7205 Pontiac Drive, Ward 4. And as a reminder, I'm 71 years old. I was a civil engineer in private practice for 35 or more years, specializing in airports, planning, cost estimating, and design of major airport improvements. R 1905 concerns financing of airport improvements at North Rock Airport. I have three comments, questions. One, what is the estimated cost of the project, of the proposed improvements? The Arkansas Department of Aeronautics has 6 programs for assisting Arkansas airports with improvements. One of those 6 programs is an 80-20 grant program to assist with airport hangars. And I believe at the January commission meeting, there was Bryant, the airport in Bryant, got a grant to help with the hangar. Also in January, Mountain Home. It's a popular grant program. If the airport needs a $1 million hangar, it won't cost the city $1 million. With the 80-20 grant program, it'll cost you $200,000. Pretty good discount. Item 2, the airport has 2 key airport planning documents that were financed jointly among the city State Aeronautics, and at the federal level, FAA Southwest Region. One of these two key planning documents are your airport master plan. The other one is your airport layout plan. Are the proposed airport improvements in conformance with these plans? 3, you have, the city has a full-time airport manager. You have a 7-member airport commission. You have, under a multi-year contract, an airport engineer, Garver, that's on call for planning, cost estimating, design. You haven't used Garver, to my knowledge, in the planning for this. You've used a small Oklahoma architectural firm that specializes, again, in small healthcare facilities. I learned today that neither the FAA nor the Arkansas Department of Aeronautics have had any recent discussions with you or any of the aforementioned city representatives. Please don't go too far down the road without coordinating these. Hell, you can get a 80% discount.
Where did that information come from?
State Aeronautics,
Who?
Jerry Chisholm. No recent conversations.
He was in our meeting. He
2
presented.
years ago.
No, a month ago.
Okay.
A month ago.
Call Jerry.
You were there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, your 3 minutes
So
is up.
what grant program did you apply for?
Your 3 minutes is up.
Well, I thought you were having a discussion now.
I quit discussion. Nick Frankie.
Okay.
I'll pick up where you left off. And again, a month ago, I was here at this meeting. Mr. Chisholm wasn't here. Maybe you had a closed-door meeting with them. The Arkansas Department of Aeronautics and the Federal Aviation Administration do have these grant programs. The problem with these grant programs is you have to adhere to some rules that they put down. It's like giving your kids an allowance. They can't go out and buy whatever they want with it. And that's what these grant programs say. They say you can't use some rinky-dink outfit in Oklahoma that's your buddy. You have to use an approved engineer and architectural firm. You have to build these airports and these facilities to a standard. They have standards that you have to meet. Now, if we at North Little Rock just give them our money, there's no standard. Who here is making them adhere to any standard? I'll tell you who's making them adhere to any standard. Nobody. And the gross mismanagement of your airport out there is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I see again, we have homeless people down here at the bus station. How much money did we give them in our last budget? None. How much money did we give to the homeless airplanes out there? $100,000. We take care of these airplanes better than we're taking care of the people here in North Little Rock. And again, I want to mention this because I'm going to mention this every time I'm here. $65,000 went to repave Donald Blakey's private ramp. $65,000 of our dollars tax dollars, when we buy bread and milk at Kroger, not federal grant money. That money was turned down. They applied for it. Clay Rogers applied for it, but he got denied on it, so we had to pay for it. Mr. Mayor here and the city council, with their approval, paid $65,000 to repave Mr. Blakey's ramp, private parking area. Mr. Blakey's on the board, he's a commissioner, if y'all didn't know that. Mr. Blakey is an airport commissioner and voted to spend our money to repave his own private ramp. I don't know who wouldn't do that. So if he's going to, there's nothing really out there. It's very nebulous about this $4 million. If he's going to get this $4 million, if we're going to give it to this guy there's no other airport in the state of Arkansas, that takes city money from the city, from a municipality. And there's no other airport in Arkansas that takes municipal money. And ours is so grossly mismanaged, they need $100,000 every year to make the ends meet. Raise the rent, raise the taxes, fuel tax. Do you think any of those privately owned airplanes out there and corporately owned airplanes, you think any of that tax money comes back to us? No. It goes to the Department of Aeronautics and straight back to the airport. Do you think any of that sales tax money from the fuel comes to us and here at North Little Rock to help us out? No. It goes back to the airport, back to the Department of Aeronautics. And I would just like to know, what do they bring to us? How many millions? We've invested over $500,000 since Mayor Smith has been mayor, and they've brought nothing back to us. Nothing.
Okay. That was exciting. Let's go on,
You're holding
Yeah.
that?
Mayor,
yeah,
can I say something?
sure.
You know, people get up here, and, you know, I respect everybody's opinion, but when you get up here and say that the city does nothing for the homeless, that bothers me, because that's false information, and I want to make sure that everybody knows that. The money that we put into Jericho Way, we put over for several, I mean, I can't remember when it was down at River City Ministry and now over at Jericho Way, so I just want to make that correction, that that is false.
Yeah, I mean, both our last two speakers, their facts were way off, so, but we appreciate them participating, so thank you very much. Okay, let's go on to old business.
So you said you're holding R 1905?
Yeah, hold on a minute, let me get there. Yes,
Okay. R 1919, Mayor Smith.
please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an exclusive listing agreement with Newmark Moses Tucker Partners to sell approximately 5 acres of public land in the city of North Little Rock's downtown area.
Thank you very much. Let me explain one thing really quickly. I've been told by other people that one of the objections was we didn't have a plan. Well, what we're asking to do right now is enter into an agreement with professionals that do plans and do development to bring us a plan. We're not selling anything. We're not agreeing to sell anything. We're not agreeing to a plan. We're agreeing to hire, if you will, a very experienced real estate company that has a lot of downtown development successes. And at their own cost, this is not costing us a penny, that they are going to work on developing a plan and working on developing a project that can be funded by others and bring it to us for approval. So nothing happens, nothing gets sold until we get the project that we like and the price we want. So all we're doing is asking them to use their experience to make something happen. So that's all we're doing.
We're just listening.
We're just listening. That's all we're doing.
And
Ms. Ross?
Do we have it on the floor for discussion yet, or?
Yeah, get it on the floor. How about a motion?
So moved.
All right, it's on the floor.
Where? Okay, so basically what this is, let me see if I get this straight. So for a 1-year contract, and they have a 180-day extension, is that correct?
The 180-day extension would come into play only if Newmark Moses Tucker Partner comes up with an approved plan within that 1-year period. If they do and the property has not sold yet, then the 180-day extension would kick in.
Okay, and so, and then they also have the right of first purchase
Yes,
for 180 days after that also, correct?
yes.
And so what we're getting is a free master plan if they sell it, don't sell it, or whatever? Is that,
Well,
I mean, will that be our property then, the master plan that they're going to produce?
is
for
that
us?
answer yes, Jimmy? Yes, yeah.
So basically, it's a free master plan, is that?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what they're gonna come up with, you know, I mean, it might be a pen and ink drawing, I don't know, but they're gonna develop something that they can go out and sell to these people that wanna take opportunities in this opportunity zone. You know, man, we gotta strike now while that opportunity zone's still there, and these developers are just dying to make something happen. So we're gonna ask them to go take it and see if they can make something happen. Mr. Height?
Well, I got 2 questions now. The second question is, Newmark, Moses, and Tucker, they're going to design the plan, or are they going to solicit designs?
Well, they're going to solicit developers and then the developers, and they'll use Jimmy's experience, and they'll sit down and go, okay, what do you want? What do you want to happen here? And, well, we want this, and we want these kind of retails, and we want a bowling alley, and we want a Dillard's, for goodness sakes, you know, I mean, I'm making up names, but, and then they'll try to make it fit on our property. And so I don't know, you know, I mean, we might know more in 2 months or 6 months on what the market will bear out there, and then they'll bring us a plan that, hey, we would like to do this, and we've got XYZ company out of Arizona that wants to come in here and do this, and then we'll look at it and go, okay, it looks like a great idea, let's go forward with it, so.
Okay, so my second question, which is with my first question is, it's not gonna cost us anything for them to bring us a plan
Not a penny.
for us to consider.
Not a penny. That was the deal. Mr. Taylor?
So, Councilmember Harris, he says just a listing, and I list property every day, and I can guarantee you, when I go to list property, I don't walk in the door and tell the seller that I don't have a plan. I better have a plan when I go to list their property. And I don't list property, I wish I did, but I don't have the opportunity to list properties for 5, 6 million or whatever. But I guarantee you, if I did, when I walked in that door, I better have a plan, and not go in the door with the notion that I'm gonna come up with a plan. I better have a plan when I walk in the door. So I'm sure that they have a plan already. They have some kind of idea. I spoke with Fletcher today, and he kind of gave me a better idea of what their thoughts are. And it's not something that they're rushing into. They've put some thought into it, but I just want to make sure that we're taking into consideration that with this thing needs to be really well thought out before anything happens. We have the Chamber of Commerce. We have 2 other tenants next door to them that uses that parking lot. They use it for access. So, I mean, we're putting this thing on the market, and there's a whole lot of different moving parts. Us, the city, we spent almost $100,000 on a downtown master plan, 9 years ago? Where is that at? Where's that document at? So, and that $100,000 we spent, that $85,000 we spent was only a third of it. So we spent 85, somebody else spent 85, another 85,000. We spent weeks and months on charrettes and all of this stuff on how we wanted this thing to develop out. Where's that plan at? Did we spend all that money for a downtown master plan and that thing's sitting on the shelf someplace and nobody's looking at it, nobody's using it as a baseline as far as how we're going to move forward? So I don't have any no real objections. After talking with Fletcher today, he really helped me understand their vision and how they're going to move forward. But I just think we need to really be cognizant of the Chamber of Commerce and of the other tenants that it's going to affect as far as parking, and make sure that they're intrinsically involved in anything that we do, because it's going to have a big effect on them, or a huge effect on them.
I agree 100%.
I agree with you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad that it looks like, we're making a profit, but I'm not in real estate. And I'm wondering, has there been an appraisal of this property?
Well, what I did, instead of going out and spending $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, we just sold property, right down here on the plaza for $18 a square foot. So I figured $18 a square foot is, because they're going to do the same thing. They're going to go like sales, and so they're going to go right up the street, say it sold for $18 a foot, and that'll sell for $18 a foot. But they're also going to have demolition costs down here. So, they might end up paying $20 a square foot all in. So I thought that was a fair price.
Okay, the contract shows $16, is that?
16, I'm sorry.
16.
You're right.
Okay.
So, again, we're not making any decisions other than put these guys to work. Any project that they come back with, we got to look at it, and we got to prove it. I mean, y'all know me. I mean, I'm not going to do anything without y'all looking at it. So, anyway, that's where we are. We want to step forward. We want to make good things happen. We've got a lot of energy and synergy downtown, and I don't want to slow down. So I hope y'all will help me get this ball rolling and put Jimmy and Fletcher and their professionals to work. Mr. Height?
We got an email from our city attorney today with the new contract, and we held this 2 weeks ago because you wanted to tweak that contract.
And we did.
So in 25 words or less, can you tell us what the differences are? And how it benefits the city?
Shortened the time period from 2.5 years to a year and a half. Deleted the automatic renewal on the exclusive listing for an extra year and a half, which would have brought it out to 3 years. Deleted all provisions to them having the ability to lease the property and what their commission would be if they leased it. There were a few provisions in here that seemed to be more favorable to the realtors than to the city that we looked at and tweaked a little bit to make them a little more even-handed and fair to the city.
Yeah, Amy did a great job, and Jimmy and Fletcher looked at it and thought it was very fair, so good job, Amy, thank you.
Thank you.
So in this, I guess it's the fourth paragraph down at the bottom, it talks about if the city or if the seller enters into any other exclusive agency agreements, then we would still be liable to this firm for 75% or 50%, depending on who submits the offer. Why in the world would we enter into another exclusive agency agreement if we already have one with them?
We probably wouldn't. I think what, those commercial realtors think about is especially when you're representing a city, that somebody would try to go around them. Let's say that, I've been thinking about going out to that big convention out in Las Vegas where all the developers and the realtors go and all that stuff, and trying to sell the project myself. And what if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, look, let's go around, and Jimmy and Fletcher, and let's me and you and city council work a deal. So if that happened, I of course would say no, and I would immediately put them in contact with our realtor. So it's just normal watch your back type verbiage in a contract. Am I right, Jimmy? Yep. Ms. Ross, you through, Mr. Taylor?
Well, I guess, but yeah, I'm done.
Ms. Ross?
And I know this isn't costing us anything, but, I guess in 5 on the very end here, in 60 days, we have to provide them with a phase 1, the environmental report, the ALTA survey, and then soil test. I'm just curious what those items cost that are going to cost us.
Say that one more time.
Within 60 days from this execution of this.
Oh, say that one more time?
Okay, within 60 days, let's see, let me get down here again. Okay, within 60 days of full execution, the owner shall supply Newmark with the following reports to assist with the marketing. So we have to provide them with the phase 1, the environmental report, and we have to provide them with the ALTA survey and then soil test. So I'm just curious how much that would cost.
The Economic Development Corporation's already contracted with that, and basically everything's done. And it was $6,800 for the environmental, and I think $2,000 or $4,000 for the pretty complex survey.
Okay, so you've already done the soil test also?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just been a phase 1. It's what's called a desktop review.
Right.
So
If they come
we'll
back
see how
along-
that works out. It may.
If they come back on phase 2, then it's going to, okay.
Yeah, phase 2's getting pretty expensive. But if you're, any property you sell, you got to make the banks happy. So
Right.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I had one thing about the planning. I guess a lot of real estate firms, and especially architect firms I've come across, always say they have a planning capability. Well, this is kind of a unique organization here in that fact that Jimmy Moses is an urban planner, and a lot of people just know him as being a developer. But way back when he was much younger, and I was too, he was a professional planner in Little Rock and Central Arkansas, well respected. I think has a graduate degree in urban planning from the University of Florida. So we're getting a lot for a real estate contract, I'll say that. It's developing, planning, and marketing.
Thank you, Todd. Yes, ma'am.
I guess my question is, so you said economic development, so that has come out of the city budget already then,
Right.
correct?
Okay, on the motion.
Wait,
Have an amendment.
It needs to be amended to substitute the new
Okay.
agreement.
All right, do I have a motion to amend the new contract
So
in?
moved.
So moved.
On, second?
Second.
Okay, on the motion.
On the motion to amend, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the motion.
You need a motion to adopt as amended.
Let's do that too. Motion?
So moved. Second, whatever.
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the motion.
On the motion to adopt as amended, Ross?
And this is just putting it out there to see what's out there? Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
No.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
R 1931, Mayor Smith.
Okay, Jimmy, go to work.
There's no emergency.
I'm going to withdraw that.
You're going to withdraw that? Okay.
Yep.
New business, R 1933, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an agreement with the Arkansas Arts Center.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion.
On the motion to adopt, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R 1934, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an offer and acceptance with Bobby Brandt and to purchase certain real property located at 3919 and 3921 Pike Avenue in the city of North Little Rock.
Move for adoption.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
No.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
R 1935, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a purchase and sale agreement with Bruce Oakley Incorporated to sell property located on North Buckeye and East Fifth Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Question.
Question.
The paper this morning stated that the appraised value for that piece of property was 1.4 million this past July, and we're selling it for 1.1 million. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Why are we not selling it for the appraised value?
Well, the main reason is that those appraisals weren't done by taking tours inside the warehouses. They're in pretty disrepair, and after meeting with the Oakleys, they went and had some estimates done that it's going to cost $600,000 to $900,000 to get them the warehouses fixed so that all their stuff that they put in is not going to get wet.
So we just kind of had a gentleman's agreement then to meet in the middle, kind of?
Well, I thought it was a very fair offer.
I thought so too.
Did they come to us, or did we tell them that we wanted to sell it?
They came to us.
They came to
They've
us.
been renting that bigger one in the back for a number of years, and, they're running so many barges and trucks in and out of that port down there that they just had to have some help and had to have some close warehousing, so.
Well, I don't have, and I'll say this up front, I don't have any problem in selling the property, because we'll probably get more revenue off the sale than we would off of renting it. and-
Oh, yeah,
And
Lord, yeah.
fixing it.
And
The
remember,
only-
that
the-
property was donated to us, so this.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the only caveat I have is that I don't want this 1.1 million to burn a hole in our pocket for us to spend it. I'd like for us to kind of take a breath and see what comes up down the road. We might need that 1.1 million to offset some
I mean,
price
I
increases.
agree with you
or
100%.
Premium increases or so forth.
There's
so.
a whole lot of good things to do. We will take it and guard it, and before we spend it, we'll come back to the council and go, hey, look, you want to do this?
Yeah, thank you. With that, and I
Ms. Ross?
make a motion.
This is just probably irrelevant, but I was just curious, because I didn't have time to look this up. These are properties, they're non-tax producing properties with the city owning these properties
That's correct.
also. So have we ever looked at what that would increase, the tax revenue from these properties when we get them back on the tax record? Have we ever done that? I'm just curious.
I mean, there's a formula.
Right, okay.
Don't
The
know what it
assessed
was.
value.
most of that money is going to go to the school district.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's our schools, so.
Yeah,
right,
it's our
right.
schools.
So I'm, I'm
We
all
get-
for getting that back into.
I
the-
mean, we did a analogy of a $300,000 house out east, or $250,000 house out east, and we got about $300 a year out of the real estate taxes. So that's how little we get.
But
And,
our police pension and fire pension.
police
our
pension, fire
schools,
pension,
and-
schools,
And so, you know,
library
it's
gets a
children's
little of it,
hospital, so there's
yeah.
all good things at that.
Exactly.
So, okay, I was just curious.
Okay, do we have a motion and a second?
No, sir.
How about a motion?
So moved.
So moved, second.
And a second. On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Ordinances 01914, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance adopting rules and procedures for the North Little Rock City Council repealing North Little Rock Municipal Code Section 2-46 to 2-104, ordinance numbers 7900, 8157, 8501, and 8611, first reading.
Move for adoption, and we do have an amendment. I mean, move to waive the readings, and we have an amendment.
Got a
How's that?
motion to suspend the readings?
Second.
On the motion to suspend.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Okay, your amendment?
All right, and I put it at everybody's table on section 2.04. I missed
Which section?
2.04. I left alderman in, I missed it, and so replaced that with council members. And then on section 2.05, Councilmember Ross requested that we add a sentence at the end of that section that says, "Public comment on agenda items will be heard at the beginning of the meeting. Public comment on non-agenda items will be heard at the end of the meeting," which is what we do, but it's just not a part of the ordinance. So to add that in to make it clear.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
I was just very adamant about that, because I remember when we didn't have public comment before we voted on legislation, that was probably one of the worst things we've ever done. You know, we would vote on it, and then people would come up to speak as the, after
agree.
the fact.
Good
So
idea.
Just
Here
want to
is-
make sure that that's left in there.
All right, we got amendment to change and add. Do we have a second on the amendment?
Second.
Motion is second to make the amendment. All in, on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Move for adoption as amended.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White? Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann? And Height?
Yes.
01915, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance waiving formal bidding requirements for the purchase of license plate reader cameras from SkyCorp Incorporated, a sole source vendor. First reading.
What is that?
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
A motion and a second to suspend all readings on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Mike, you want to come up and explain that to us?
Perfect.
Thank you, Council Mayor. We've had license plate readers for several years in our city. The firm that we were using before quit providing any updates at all. Little Rock Police Department is who we maintains the server for us. So kind of been looking at a new system. This new system we come out with. The first time we bought these were about $18,000 each. The price has really come down, as you can tell. Currently, we have 9. The plan is, as more and more agencies become involved in it, will allow us to apprehend more violators, criminals, as far as stolen vehicles and other cases that we might be working on. So it's a good system for us, a good opportunity for us. We already have a policy in place that deals with privacy issues and things like that. I've been to the state legislature, spoke to them as well about this last session. So we're just ready to move forward and roll with it.
It's a great tool.
It is.
Questions?
Read your plates, huh?
Yeah, they got them located throughout the city. Yeah, if we have a call, you know, that somebody's leaving the scene of a murder or whatever else, and that they went right and they went left, went right, and, you know, then we can go to our cameras and pull up that time frame, but between 1 and 1:15, we can see the cars that drove down through there.
It reads that number, that there's an alert goes off or something?
You can, the new system has alerts on it, so if I'm sitting in my house and I want to know, for instance, a murder suspect leaves the city, it will send me a text message and we'll know that he left going across the Broadway Bridge at 5:30 this afternoon.
Right here in North Little Rock, Arkansas. That's-
Yes,
Go
sir.
figure, yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Mike. Where are we, Ms. Whitby?
Need a motion?
How about a motion
Motion to adopt.
Second.
on the motion?
Motion to adopt Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Concludes new business.
Thank you very much. Jimmy Yard, public comment.
Mayor, you want to hear funny?
If you can do it in 3 minutes, I do.
Oh, yes. I called your office the other day and asked to speak to someone, and all of a sudden, I was connected with who I thought it was, but it wasn't.
Well, I heard that story.
It was a council member. Finish the story?
Did you get him lined out, Jane? Next time you talk to him on the phone, line him out.
No, but not everybody knows how
Straighten
your
out.
phone system works. I could not believe someone in your office instead of transferring me to who I asked for, transfer me to a council member.
It's all about pushing the buttons, Jimmy, and sometimes you push the wrong button.
I know. Now, for the council members, Ms. Robinson, you was quite interested in getting roofs fixed and sewers replaced. Remember when you brought that up before the council members? When we closed a certain section down in the city? I'm not supposed to ask you questions, but there is a way to get people's sewer fixed, get roofs put on. And if you're interested, see me after the meeting, I'll tell you how to do it.
What's your phone number? We'll put it on our website.
You serious?
No.
Okay, got one more.
How
You
many has
remember
he
the guy that
got?
owns the liquor store on Camp Robinson, sold it, quite active and stuff?
Yeah.
He remembers what you promised me you was gonna do on when you swore people in, and he asked me about it. I told him to come down here and ask you personally. Remember that?
No?
You was gonna swear me in to give tickets on weekends when people don't get permits to do stuff.
Well, you've got some people on staff that are debating that with me right now, so they're winning.
To get me to do it?
No, they're winning for me not to swear you.
Oh, well, he thought that was a big issue, so he was
Yeah.
wanting to ask you about
Yeah,
it.
well, thank you. All right, any council members got anything? Ms. Robinson?
Believe it or not, we have a little light following, of citizens that tune in the second Monday and fourth Monday nights. And they tune in and listen to us. And one of the questions I have, and maybe you can give us the answer in maybe 2 minutes or less. I have some constituents that just want to update on the fire department. They've been following that, the fire department. And the last time we met, I know you all were
You
going
talking
to
about the
meet.
construction of the fire department?
No, the contract
union.
with the union.
Oh, okay. I'll be more than happy to talk to them personally. If you won't tell me who they are, I'll call them. Be more than happy to do that. But I'll also tell you, Lynn's here. We had a great meeting last Friday, or last Tuesday, maybe, whenever it was. Yeah, anyway, we got about halfway through the contract, making the changes. We're meeting tomorrow, I think, isn't that right, Lynn? We're going to meet tomorrow, and hopefully we can get through the other half. And we had two questions that we had to go get answered from legal, had to do with workman's comp or vacation time or something. So everything's going fine. I thought we had a great meeting. Lynn, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to spend quite a bit more time on the new payroll software, on how to calculate our overtime. We can work through that.
Okay,
I think we'll be good.
sure. Yeah, everything's going well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So is that we're making progress and we're confident that we're going to come to an agreement? Is that what?
I'm pretty much confident.
Okay, good.
It was a pleasant meeting, so we were in there trying to work and not try to point fingers at each other. So I thank you, Lynn, for your professionalism and And the new guy you brought, I forgot his name. Yeah, great guy. I really liked him. He's smart, too. Yeah. Yeah, well, tell Jeremy thank you for being there. It was a pleasant meeting. Anybody else? Mr. Taylor?
So, 1913 was pulled, the house that was up for condemnation. So now all of a sudden, the house is fixed and it's not in disrepair, everything is good with it now? Or, I mean, what's happening with that legislation?
The one I just withdrew? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. They came in and paid their $1,300 for their back license. They had a frame-out code inspection today. Electrical inspector is going on Friday. So I felt that progress was being made without having to condemn it. And I sent a text to them this afternoon, said that if things don't continue at this rapid pace, then I'm going to recall it and I'm going to refile it and call it. So I think we've got they understand that I'm not messing with them. So I felt comfortable. It only takes me 5 minutes to recall it. Any other questions, comments? How about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson? Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yeah, I did
Finn?
too.
And
Yes.
Height?
It wasn't
Yes.
big enough.